Hey guys, welcome back to ESL TV for the EPS Germany 2014 winter season with the League of Legends Finals. It's our last day, actually. We've had FIFA and StarCraft over on Friday. We had Counter-Strike yesterday, and today, to round things off, of course, it is League of Legends. And we get underway with the Pixie Bands from game number 2 here between Playing Ducks and CC. And well, as you can hear, the Pixie Bands have started. It's going to drop you straight in there. And hopefully I did all the graphics correctly in the break. Bam. Nailed it.
Smashed it. And you can see the bands, we'll just run over them one more time, is what I'm trying to say. Rumble, Maokai, and Warwick on the side of CC, and Playing Ducks opting to ban away Rengar, Twisted Fate, and Katarina. So those of you, we have our bans, and I mean, there's no surprise to see Twisted Fate and Katarina on the ban list.
I'm surprised actually to see a ban. I don't know why. I mean, they weren't that big of a deal. There's so many other champions that you can ban away that are a little bit more...
Oh, they're playing with them.
You never heard of the Teemo Poppy lane?
Oh, I've heard it's incredibly strong.
The
blind. It's happened. I've seen it before.
Wait, no, to combine their names.
What, the Pimo lane?
Pimo?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Toppy doesn't sound as good.
Oh, Toppy.
Toppy lane.
Toppy does sound delicious. But we will have the Pantheon picked up. I don't know why they banned it. I mean, yeah, you can ban Twist Fate, you can ban Kenry because there's a big nuisance in the last game. There's so many other things you could ban instead of that. It wasn't like a hard thing to counter them. You just kind of got wrecked for no reason. Like, it was your fiddlesticks. That was the big, like, mess up in that one. I don't know. Well, we'll see how it works out for him. I was not feeling too comfortable to go up against him a second time. But Lucian, John are going to be locked in. And now on the other side, we're going to go for it as our support. I haven't seen Nami in a while.
I was thinking something similar. I mean, Janna seems to be heavily favored, and I always put those two together as kind of disengage, sustain. Obviously, Nami much more sustain than Janna, but the disengage aspects, and I do see those two as kind of providing the same kind of role of a support. I mean, neither of them the most direct kind of all-in. Of course, Thresh is in a whole different ballpark, as well as perhaps maybe an Annie. Of course, that's fallen off completely. But Janna picked up alongside Lucian. It's a strong lane. We'll see how far that one goes as we do once again see this time a Gnar in that top lane, and Koi picking the champion that PO played in game 1 up against him in game 2. Interesting to see how Koi plays that one. As the last couple of the next two picks come in, we have Avenue possibly playing that Jace mid lane. I think that's a high possibility, and of course Elise going to be taking that into the jungle.
Yeah, so Jace, we've seen a lot of success lately with Jace, whether it's Jace or Lissandra, which they could be up against in that top lane. I'm going to tell Lissandra Gnar lane yet again, but I don't know. Lissandra, I wouldn't say would be a bad pick here, but then again, be careful of the poke. You need a hard engage, and a Pantheon and Lissandra can definitely facilitate that. The Ashe, not expecting that to actually picked up. Maybe like an Ahri up against Jace, since you have another hard engage. That one you're very mobile, really hard to gank. But we'll see how it works out. We'll see what they go for.
Yeah, and you mentioned there is the power of Ashe, but I mean, I don't think we're going to quite see it. And especially up against Corki, I know Ashe could have some issues. Yeah, we're not going to be seeing that.
No, I was saying Ahri.
Oh, Ahri, sorry. Okay, so Ahri, not going to happen. The Akali is locked in, and that excites me. Two strong mobile AP assassins are been
excites you too strong. Sorry, never mind. Just go on. My mind's gone.
So, yeah.
I had a cast for 10 hours yesterday, so
Akali
I'm
and
already.
LeBlanc are such mobile AP assassins, and I mean, looking at their lineup, Corki is not going to last a second if Akali and LeBlanc get rolling. Jace in that mid lane going to be having an interesting lane. I mean, where do you see LeBlanc or even Akali against Jace?
Well, it's going to be Akali top, easily.
Yeah, I mean, so LeBlanc and Jace, then that matchup, where do you how do you see that going for Jace? I mean, he can pressure her early. There's no doubt about that. But I just every time I see her LeBlanc, and I mean, I know that she's pretty powerful.
LeBlanc should win it.
Slightly favored. Yeah, that's what I was kind of edging towards.
But depends on how good. Obviously, know where Few is on LeBlanc. But I mean, you can dodge obviously the shock blast. You can get in and out. You can get away from his melee range. I mean, the early games can be a little bit tough just because of obviously the auto attacks, but LeBlanc should have that one. I think it comes down to the Akali Gnar. I feel like Akali can be punched so easily in this kind of combo. You just bring up an Oracle Lens, you bring up a Pink Ward, it's like kill after kill after kill onto her. And Gnar won't have a tough time pre-6 because obviously you can just auto-attack from range.
And this is where we're split. I'm sat there thinking, hey, PO's got good potential with Akali.
You think Akali should beat Gnar?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think Gnar early, I think his levels 1 and 2 probably better than Akali. But as soon as Akali hits 3, Gnar will...
she has no way of getting to him.
well, she can farm safely. It's literally a game of wait for me to get 6 and then you're dead. I mean, Akali, she probably, I mean, she has the spell vamp to kind of play it right, and I think she can farm quite safely with a Q. It's such a low call. I think it's 8 seconds on that Q, so farming with her Kana pretty much going to be her only way of picking up CS in the levels 1 to 3. But we'll see, as we are going to be coming quite swiftly into this one, and I'm going to be excited to see, of course, how that bot lane plays out. We do have the Corki Thresh and the Lucian Janna, so we'll see how that one plays out. Lots of interesting lanes, Jason. I mean, even the jungles are going to be an interesting one. The Pantheon up against Elise. Elise, a jungler who a lot of people have said really you should never be seeing at this stage. He's pretty much had everything that was good about her kind of snatched away from her in terms of AP ratios. Of course, it's very heavily reliant on the Cocoon landing. So it's going to be interesting to see what, I hate this name, Zoinuzi brings to the table. Zoe. Nice.
Like toy. Koi Zoe.
Koi, Zoe.
Intix, Intox. It's always fun.
Tongue twisters.
The Pantheon, I think, is going to be doing a little bit more, obviously, than Elise will be able to do in this one.
Yep.
Elise can be strong, but it's kind of like hoping for a cocoon into a hook kind of thing to really open things up with. But we'll see, obviously. We're going to drop you in a game now, and obviously see how this one's going to kick off here. Over on the red side, it will be playing Ducks, and over on the blue side, it will be, of course, crowd control. And going laps for you guys again really quickly. We have Pio, Lamba Bear, No Way For You, Intix, Intox. And so I'm playing Ducks. We have Koi, Zoe, Avenue, Brokey, and Sazed.
My Rufflecopter goes Zoe, 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 Zoe. As Corki and Sazed are going to be just sitting in that bot lane. So it looks like we're going to be seeing standard lanes already. No surprises yet this I was about to say this evening, this afternoon. As we're going to see the Pio and Koi lane. I'm interested to see which one of us kind of prediction about that top lane matchup is going to come true. Of course, you favouring Gnar. I've got my eyes on Pio on Akali. And of course, I mean, Pio played so well on Gnar yesterday, last game, and we already said this before in a previous cast. We were saying, you know, never pick someone's good champ against them because they know everything about that champ. They know the power spikes. They know when to go, when not to go. And I mean, that could be. I mean, it could be a repeat of what we've seen previously. And as I said, we're not seeing a lane swap. Looks like I'm going to be eating my words as Corki and Thresh are heading top.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna see Gnar and you're gonna pick an Akali into it, you have to feel confident. Like, you have to be pretty sure you can pull that one off with. And right now, Pio's just gonna have no chance of farming up into Corki and Thresh. And Gnar should have a little bit of easier time. Obviously, being range could be a little bit a lot easier for him. Also, he can farm from range with his boomerang as well, farther than Akali can. We'll see how this one breaks down. I feel like it's going to come down to, you know, how Pantheon interacts with these lanes, how Elise interacts as well. And I want to see the junglers, at least the jungler Zoe, going to be having Koi stick along with him here in the meantime.
In the meantime, in that top lane, Pio is going to have a nightmare. I mean, I was saying that the first couple of levels, 1 to 3, even 1 to 6, really are not easy for Akali. But, I mean, this is going to be a whole different kettle of fish. Every CS is going to have to be acquired with the Mark of the Assassin. Meantime, though, the man who should be in that top lane is quite happily just walking alongside his spidery friend as they clear through the jungle.
You're seeing a little bit of harass here in the middle. Pantheon coming for an early gank as well onto Jace. The leash not going to land. And that will be Jace escaping that one. But his flash is now down. Pantheon can just re-gank with a flash. And now Jace has to play super passive here. You can tell they want to get nowhere for you, really snowballing on this one, and really kind of punish playing Ducks and go for a 2-0 victory. Yeah,
I mean, No Way For You played a Katarina for game 1, looking to take another similar route with this kind of aggressive AP, very much a kind of snowbally champion in the mid lane, and we're obviously kind of starting to get a good idea of how he likes to play. In the meantime, Pio, 1 CS, so he's slightly behind considering that Koi has 2, but regardless, both those top lanes are going to be kind of playing from behind, and of course that's probably a smart move, and he's already been revealed. Oh, what is he doing? Says completely fluffs the hook, and is actually going to see Pio escape quite nicely and lightly back to his farming. And of course, it's kind of a smart move, as I was trying to say before.
Wait a minute.
They messed up.
Koi hasn't been bottom lane this entire time. Look where he is now. Oh, now he's finally teleporting down. That was really odd to see him commit so much time in the jungle. They wanted to go for a little bit of counter, and now we're going to see Elise maybe getting caught out here.
It's a possibility. Zoe is in trouble, and he's going to go very, very low. Not going to be low enough, though. Pio forced to back away, courtesy of the flash and flay combination from the two. And now Koi is in a very similar situation to Pio. They're just going to have to do this back and forth. Of course, he has the advantage of being able to ranged auto attack, and so he should be picking up a few more CS than Pio. And of course, the point I keep trying to make but keep getting cut off by all this damn action, is that, I mean, as an Akali, you need to get the CS. I guess you're going to have to kind of forfeit a bit, but when you're in a 1v2 lane, you can't get anything, and that makes it like he's trying to Shroud just for one CS. He's trying so very hard, and of course, the real danger is, of course, Corki can reveal him. So, I mean, even in the Shroud, he isn't safe. The hook doesn't quite connect, but still, horrible times for Pio.
And he's going to team to have a really tough time here, and no, it's actually, so yeah, so Corki can't reveal her. With Saucer Wall. He can reveal you if you're in bushes, but it doesn't reveal stealth, unfortunately. So luckily for her, she has that. But still, you're right. I mean, as long as, because his Foster Bomb is as big as her Shroud, basically. So he's always going to hit her with that one, unless she's going to pop out of it and then be seen. But meantime, Thresh could be rotating around towards middle, it seems. Maybe to potentially stop this dragon, since you can't do it very early on with Pantheon. But you already see a little bit of action breaking down over there.
Yeah, in that bottom lane, still all is quiet, and looks like Pilo's trying to make a move, trying to take full advantage of this lack of Thresh, and look at the damage he's exerting with just his cloth armor to his name. And Corki, yes, he's leading in CS, but he's still vulnerable until that buy goes down. It looks like Sayes is going to go straight back to where he came from, and as he realizes Broski was not as safe as he might once thought.
Well, he was going down to stop a dragon that was being done by Llama Bear. And not to mention Intox, you know, we've obviously seen, you know, the Panther can do it level 3 kind of thing, because he won't even be hit kind of stuff, but, you know, in the meantime, they stop it, so they prevent it. Broki's still alive topside, didn't even commit a summoner, so he'll be fine. But they did give it a little bit of time here for Akali to farm, but now it looks like they're just going to punish her. They're going to keep the wave shoved, they're going to keep it up against their own turret here, and just last hit and freeze the lane. So now Akali has to go somewhere else to get some farm, and he's actually doing Gromp right now. Yeah,
it's going to be pretty much a case of anything goes, and anything he can take, he will.
Almost died. Actually,
did he kill it?
No, he didn't even kill it.
Oh, dearie me.
Well, it's very hard to kill when you don't have a smite here. Koi even getting low in the jungle as well. I think he's going to transform and be fine, though, in the meantime. But being forced to just farm in the jungle, taken away from Zoe. So if we look at, talk about, junglers losing a lot of camps here. You can see it's 16 to 11. Pantheon could be, or should be more effective, but when it comes to ganking, but he needs level 6 to obviously have the ultimate to just charge straight in, and he's still having a rough time kind of catching back up to Avenue, who still has that flash down. So even with blowing that summoner a little bit earlier on, he hasn't been able to punish him here just yet, and we're 6 minutes in without a first blood. Yeah,
and when you have a LeBlanc just hit 6 as well, you cannot risk being around on any sort of low health. You see already he's going all in. Not particularly all in, as Avenue just takes the half health and continues to farm away quite safely. But the ultimate used from No Way For You, and that's got Jace to quite a tasty level of health. That's going to mean as soon as that cooldown's back up, LeBlanc's going to be gunning for blood, and it looks like Avenue knows that, and he's going to play it safe and head on back to base, if No Way For You lets him. Ultimate's halfway through cooldown. In the meantime, the poor Pio...
He has Ignite, he can just he can all in him right now. Actually, no, Avenue has barriers, so he should be able to survive the burst, but he can get very close to all in, not to mention Elise even trying to come around from the south side, going to catch up Panther, going to smite steal it away, actually. The Raptor. So a little bit of a small victory there for them. But in the meantime here, you can see it's CS across the board, 9 to 12 between the top laners, 46 to 52 between the mid laners, and 57 to 58, so it's really even. And Nowhere For You getting his passive now popped. He has that potential of being bursted down. Like just one little combo, one shock blast landing perfectly could take him down. And he's got to be very careful here. As John luckily coming in to help him farm up this last wave before he does go back to base. But he has a lot of farm, a lot of money to spend, 1,600 gold to go back with.
It's pretty much equal gold on both sides, so Avenue's going to be coming back with equally equipped. I can only assume perhaps we're going to see the large rod picked up straight away from No Way For You. He did it the exact same thing on Katarina last time. And as he heads on back to base, we'll see what he's going to... In fact, no, he hasn't headed back to base. He's still sticking around with that low health. Confident that he could perhaps take Avenue down given the opportunity. He can't risk going under turret, especially with that Thresh presence down there as well. Meantime, red buff picked up by Pantheon and Bart, taking a bit more of a generic jungler this time as opposed to the TF we saw. But 8 minutes in, and both mid laners yet to go back. Surprised the junglers haven't kind of sat around here any more than they already have. And in the meantime, it's worth highlighting that finally Pio's starting to get some CS.
Yeah, he's starting to really build up. Picked up another cloth armor, so looks like he's going for Zonia's potentially, or maybe Ninja Tabi into Zonia's later. We'll see. Obviously, he's able to buy up soon. He's having okay lane so far. I mean, he's keeping up in CS. He's level 6 now. Obviously, has ultimate, so he can be very deadly in these 1v1s. Koi is still only level 5, just finally dinging over to level 6. I'm still waiting to see, when this action happens. I'm still waiting to see Pantheon hit level 6 and get these ganks, because right now Intox can get hot with a hook, but no one really to back up Sazed with here. And you look at Zoe, he's level 6 compared to level 4 of Lambier.
Look at this potential damage can be output in such a short space of time. All kind of hanging in the balance, though, as 4 members, or make it 5, actually, as Lucian's on his way as well, from CC, are making a move towards this dragon. Still standing, no way for you, trying to put some damage on Koi. It's not going to be enough, though, but it's going to be a good start. In fact, I say that, looks like Pierre's trying to contribute as well. Not going to be enough, as he has to use an ult charge just to get away from that turret's radius. Instead, in that bot lane, we're seeing a standard lane emerge, finally. Only took us 10 minutes, and actually Avenue's on the move for LeBlanc.
Shotbot's going to come in, not enough to burst him down, but enough to force him back out of lane. He has a bot, remember that? And of course, Jace has been able to pick up that Hexagon tier, like was mentioned before. And bottom side, Intix, as you can see, just still trying to farm. Does have a little bit of a CS lead compared to Corki. And I'm wondering, will he have his Infinity Edge done before that Triforce is finished? And then force some fights like we were able to see last time. Anyway, Merlin Alcon picked up now for LeBlanc, so going for that CDR. Maybe we'll see a second one come out.
That's a dream of yours this evening. You want to see
it's just funny to see, like...
double Morellos.
I'm surprised it hasn't been changed, the cooldown reduction to being a unique passive. I think it might have done that in 421, but like... to buy a second of an item being more efficient than picking up a completely different one just makes no sense.
Yeah, you're right. Yes,
I'm going to pick up 6 Infinity Edges because the crit percent does stack with itself.
That would be insane.
I do 400% damage.
That would be crazy. No, but yeah, it's an odd build, but it has been seen to be viable. And I mean, looking towards it, with LeBlanc with the Morellonomicon, last time I saw it, I was like, oh, we're not going to see a DFG, we're not going to see any damage, and I saw LeBlanc still output a stupid amount of damage, as I can't quite catch all the action, as No Way For You just going to be doing pretty well for himself on CS. I mean, 73 to 82 on LeBlanc. It's actually pretty reasonable and respectable. In the meantime, bot lane, see the culling forced out by Lucian. Oh, sorry, by Broski, trying to perhaps connect a couple of extra bullets, but nothing going to come of it. In the meantime, though, you can see this dance around Dragon. They're going to try and perhaps make a move towards Dragon. Pantheon doing other things in the mid lane, though.
So as you can see, able to clear a couple of wards here. And Lambert, he's level 6 now, so he obviously can't ult into some of these lanes and really make something happen, but so just by the time Avenue already very low in HP, he might decide to actually ult middle and go for the straight turret dive, but unfortunately No Way's backing away, has no HP, can't really survive any form of ganks here. But still, relatively slow game. I mean, this is like typical EUS style. You know, 12 minutes in almost with no kills. About 600 goalie, though, in favor of playing Ducks. They're looking a little bit better than they did last time. And then again, I mean, it's just such a snowball for CC. Like, CC were behind, what, the majority of the game, then out of nowhere, a couple of kills, a couple of failed jungle ganks just allowed them to pull ahead.
This could be trouble. The Spider has gone undetected. Just had backing away. And, I mean, yeah, you're saying this is classic EUS style. 12 minutes in, all that does is put a whole lot of weight on that first blood. And I think, especially with the Dragon still standing, we have yet to see a Drake. It's going to be interesting to see which team kind of starts making the move for it.
Lambert finally first ult of the game, goes towards the top side. Doesn't hit onto Koi, and nice stun under turret here. Arpeo might go down for this one. The turret hit not going to be enough. The flash comes in. Lambert should be able to secure this kill with one more hit. And there we go. First blood finally being picked up for Pantheon. Jace, though, coming around, potentially trying to stop this from backing away. And it looks like he might be able to land a blast or two. As we're going to head over to him right now and see. Nope, he picks up a kill.
Broski just farming away quite happily. Say's just... I mean, he has the potential. This hook is such a threat, and I haven't seen too much of it in the bot lane. In the meantime, No Way For You could be in trouble. He's LeBlanc after all. Flash Force, Cocoon evaded, and he lives to fight another day. Repel actually forced back away as he sees the Akali emerge from the bush. And 1 for 1 now, kill for kill. Only meant to fall, of course, Gnar and Pantheon, respectively. And Lambar, I mean, not seeing... too many issues actually with his jungling. He's such a strong presence just on the Pantheon. The fact that he's got the flash stun is almost the same as that flash gold card that we saw in game 1. It's the same kind of pressure that he can put across the map. Doesn't quite have the global... Oh, I'm about to eat my words. He doesn't quite have the global ultimate, but he has a pretty long-range ultimate. So actually, Pantheon and Twisted Fate, there is quite a few parallels between those two junglers.
Quite a few, and well, looks like they're going to go for Dragon here. Remember, one hasn't been taken yet in this game. And looks like it will be going the way CC, but Teleport coming in now, and it looks like PD want to fight. They
want to fight fast, and they take down Janna without a trace. Koi looking to do something. Pilo is going low, as at least you see already. LeBlanc has gone down. Koi in response. They're back and forth. Ultimates left, right, and center. This is the time, as only one man has gone down from PD, and they're looking for a second as well. Lambert looking low, instead backing away, heading towards this Drake, and as 3 timers are ticking away, there's very little to stop this Drake going their way.
Yeah, so it looks like First Dragon will actually go with their hands. Funny enough, after that fight, picking up quite a few kills. And you can see now it's 2-4 going here. Playing trying to get to game number 3. And well, Panthan still sticking around, trying to potentially stop them here. And it will be very tough. He's going to have to go for the smite still, and he won't even bother going for that here. So finally, First Dragon picked up now for Playing Ducks. And they have been able to pull ahead in the lead.
Yep, that's going to tip the scales of the gold quite heavily. 18.9 now to 17.2, so around that 2,000 gold, favouring the Playing Ducks side. And with only a 2-kill deficit for the team, it shows that there's actually a discrepancy in CS as well. And yeah, it's quite interesting to see. You can actually see that Koi, sorry, is starting to really pull ahead in CS. At one point it was Akali, now instead we see beautiful stuff.
Now we see beautiful stuff. Hopefully we do. Playing Ducks though, so they have 2 kills on Elise, 1 kill on Koi, 1 kill on Jace. Avenue building up that tier, actually pretty stacked probably, at 265, so let's getting that poke on. And that's just going to be well, nice to see. I mean, you have Corki poke, you have Jace poke, you have Gnar if he transforms, and plus his boomerang kind of thing. So they can do quite a bit of damage, but I'm really curious. Like, are they going to be able to go for any hard engages? Well, I mean, obviously they don't really need to with the amount of poke that they're going to be having here, but we're going to find out how this one's going to work out. Obviously, remember, PD had the lead for a majority of the game, and yet, right now, or sorry, in game number 1, but right now, they have the lead, but can they maintain it? And we're going to find out if CC can be able to turn this one around.
They're going to do their best, I think. At this stage in the game, CC really just need to kind of not necessarily force a team fight, but they need to make something happen in one of these lanes. No towers yet to fall on this map, and if they can't take Drake, they're going to need to push for a different objective, and I think perhaps bottom tower is the most likely, unless, of course, we see more jungle presence in mid. But still pretty safe to say it's a back and forth. Both AD carries equal on CS. Not so equal on buy, though. I don't think this is a 1v1 that CC want to fight at this moment in time. Brokey, sorry, has the Triforce.
Oh, here we go.
His Bat Satchel. In the meantime, here comes the man drop. Saze knows he could be in trouble as he's already been caught out, and it's just going to be a Threst Congelation Prize. They take him down, and that's going to perhaps mean the start of something in that mid lane as well. No Way For You manages to get away with that one as he stuns the Elise mid-repel. Beautiful stuff, and he's going to be instead heading himself back to mid as he's got to try and do his best with the help of Lambert to control this mid wave.
Lambert is actually going to come in. He's sticking around the side. They have a pink, which they know he's not spotted out by a ward just yet. And looking for the snare. They will land onto Zoe. Will it go off? Yes, it will. And Lambert backing away instead of committing for that one. So maybe a little miscommunication coming in there. But N6, as you can see, already able to push out into that bottom turret, taking down about 500 HP. And now Zoe head up towards this top side potentially. He's looking for a gank. Maybe don't want to call it. I'm surprised they haven't tried punishing Akali a little bit more. You just bring like a pink ward or an Oracle Lens, and like it's free kills for yourself, especially with the Gnar there. But then we just let her get, you know, a lot of farm, and yeah, you're down about 30 compared to your opponent. But you also have a kill and assist on your belt, and you're almost done with that Zhonya. Well, almost done. It's kind of an odd buy to see the Amp Tombs, but obviously going for the Hextech Revolver in a few.
I think he's kind of taken the Seeker's Arm Guard just because he knows the power that Gnar can have. We've already seen the kind of potential that Gnar has in these 1v1s when Pio was playing him. And of course, Koi was previously on Alessandra. He actually knows that there's a lot of assassination potential from Gnar. And as we say assassination, it's not so much assassination, more just this persistent damage you can't run away from. And so that's kind of Gnar's play style, and it worked pretty well for him. 23 to 22. Still 1,000 gold favouring Playing Ducks. Of course, game number 1 did go in favour of CC, and Playing Ducks, a team who kind of most definitely considered the favourite of this game, and they're on the back foot.
They could easily man drop this. In 15 seconds to just drop the bomb so the turret's already very low. You can afford to dive in a turret, get the kill the turret right after, and then transition into potentially a dragon a little bit later on, but looks like he might just back away. I think they know he has been spotted out. Avenue even potentially rotating down towards the bottom side to help out. Very well. They now know the ward's there, so he has been spotted out officially. And he will just back away in the meantime. I'm surprised he hasn't tried helping out No Way For You. Remember, he did gank middle at level 2, but was unsuccessful. I mean, he forced the flash out of Avenue, but didn't matter. Avenue was able to just free farm from staying really far back, and he wasn't punished for having that cooldown down. So it was a little bit confusing to see that. And here we go, Zoe looking for that gank middle. Will be thwarted by the ward. And again, you're seeing Avenue just farm from range here, just doing it so well. Even a little bit of harass coming on the top side between Pio and Koi.
And Pio starting to get CS. He's not getting the kills, of course. I mean, Akali, once he gets 1 or 2, can start really snowballing out of control. But when we're 18 minutes in and only has 79 CS, it's going to be a pretty, I mean, not as a kind of threatening of a presence as Akali has the potential to be. But, I mean, all said and done, as long as he gets to the mid-game, and if Akali starts getting a couple of kills, that will still start the Akali train. In the meantime, Nambar having to fill the shoes of LeBlanc as is it no way for you? Makes his way up weight. And it looks like no if he's hungry for Avenue. He's not going to quite connect the leash though, and instead he's going to cost him a lot of health. Avenue, beautiful performance. Takes both of the LeBlanc clones down. He wasn't taking any risks there as he gets another kill for his team. 5 for 3 now. And that Drake is getting spawning anytime now. 30 seconds on the clock. And Plain Ducks are just going to start clearing as much as they can. Can't quite secure the scuttle though.
Can't really afford to lose. Ooh. Like, you can't really afford to fight like that right before Dragon comes up. Because look, no Ifuse still down for 9 seconds. Dragon up in about 20. It'll take him at least that time to even get towards Dragon. This gives full vision control to Plain Ducks if they do go for it. And allows Jace to even go back and buy here. That was a big little bit of a mess up. But you can see they're trying to make a play themselves. They're trying to maybe pick up a kill and then go for Dragon off the back of that. And yet it completely fails for him. Doesn't work out too well for them. Of course, shopping needs to be highlighted as well. We see a Banshee's Veil now on board for Koi. I keep wanting to call him Kai. But yeah, Koi picking up the Banshee's Veil. He's got well aware of how much that will kind of negate the LeBlanc as well as, of course, the Akali. It's a very strong item against this matchup. And Dragon has been initiated. Scrying comes out, though, and this could very well be a team fight. They forced them back here. LeBlanc has been able to join the party, at least put way to go push into middle. Clear out the mini way to force them back. They will at least keep them away from it. But here with that teleport coming down, able to force them off it. And Koi actually returning back to top lane. Huh. He has TP. He does. I'm curious to see if maybe Crowd Control want to go for a fight once they do spot him in the top side. Well, as soon as he shows his face, it's going to be interesting to see CC's reaction. Their reaction is, let's go mid. Storming it, 4-man push on towards this mid turret and Avenue. He's got a bit of poke, but the man drop's going to be a big issue for him. He goes for the flash stun. This is one big dead Jace. He's outputting such a huge amount of damage. He takes a long time to fall, and Koi jumps into action. Takes 2, looking for a 3rd as well. Pio's doing his best to do something onto Elise, though, trying to squash the spider, and it looks like Pio might just be able to connect with the last mark. He does, but what situation has he put himself into? He's in big trouble, and Corki just going to connect the last few rockets to bring that one to a close. 9 to 5, and at the end of that, it's a 4 for 2 exchange. Just Elise and Jace falling, and that's fantastic work by Playing Ducks. So that's going to be a Drake as well. Jace was just able to do too much damage in that closed area with that to the skies with this Q. Coming back down, just took them all down about half HP. Then you had the Gnar, Koi just knocked them all into the wall, and it was just too much. It's too much to deal with for them, and unfortunately they get taken down, and they will lose the Dragon as well now. And well, Crowd Control, they looked pretty good at this point last time. They're not looking as good currently in game number 2 here, and they are struggling to find their way in. I mean, you have a 0-3 LeBlanc, which isn't really working out too well. You have a 0-3 or 0-0-3, I guess, Intix on Lucian. But they're not getting as lucky this time. Like Zoe playing more of a quote-unquote normal jungler, not playing Fiddlesticks to just engage and miss his ultimate every single time and make it almost useless. Either way, we're only 22.5 minutes in. The game still can easily change. Only about 3,000 gold difference between the two teams. The turrets still continue to fall. And you look at Pio, he's starting to finally get somewhere. He finally has that Gunblade done, which I think he just finished after that fight. 20 minutes in and you have your Gunblade. That is, I mean, it's a horrible feeling as an Akali player. You just, that's an item you should be having on your second back. And so it's not easy for him, but he's still just going to be persistently farming away in that presence. Once an Akali gets fed, she can clear waves fast enough. She can be our split push presence. And of course, with TP, she can also be that kind of surprise teamfight addition, which perhaps CC are going to need. But Playing Ducks looking strong in this second game as they look to be making a move down that mid lane. He just doesn't do much damage. You see, like, Broky's able to sustain that entire little quick combo that we saw. I think the turret did more damage than actually No Way For You was able to do to him. So he needs to get some sort of ability pack quick. He's going for his DFG, and when he finishes that, he might have enough to combo down Broky. But more importantly, he needs levels really bad. He's only level 12. He's been forced to go back to base now. He needs to obviously level up those abilities. Going to scale really well with levels alone. Not to mention these items coming in. But now PD knock on the front door here, looking for the tier 2 turret middle. And with the Jace just constantly poking at him, this is going to be tough to hold on to. They're doing their very best. Janna Shield's only going to delay the inevitable as already it's down to about half health. As, of course, that fresh hook presence is going to be
well and truly considered by Intix, as he's just going to have to evade that one, clear the wave as fast as he can. Now, with a 4 for 2 turrets, 4 turrets taken down by PD to just 2 of crowd control. You have to start perhaps addressing the next move. I think look at the vision coverage alone, Jason. There is so many red wards all in the enemy jungle, and I see very little from crowd control. They're very much defensive wards. You see the pink in their tri-bush way back there, and they've got nothing else really going on for them.
Yeah, it's just kind of all being cleared out, and you have the 4 sweeping lenses with the 1 Oracle lens on Sazed. That just denied him all this vision. Like the wards they do have, like I said, towards the Raptor camp, towards this bush as well. Gives you a little bit of control, but we're seeing, you know, Playing Ducks move on this top side of the jungle where there's no wards against them. And this quick combo we have. Bear and Peel. Maybe try to catch out Corki or someone pushing on the bottom side. And I feel like, you know, the Pantheon Ultimates, they've been okay. They haven't been anything extraordinary, anything to really write home about so far.
Yeah, nothing particularly special from him. I mean, Mandroth ult can be a bit of a tough one, especially in the early game where you have such mobile AD carries like Corki who just sees it and presses Valkyrie and it's all good in the hood. But I mean, yeah, it's a very strong ultimate, especially when we start reaching the kind of 30, 40 second death timers. That's when, you know, a Mandroth pick is almost integral to this pick comp. You see, you got LeBlanc as well, looking to get an easy assassination. Even Akali as well. So this the whole build of crowd control is all about kind of the mistakes of Playing Ducks, and right now they're not giving them.
Here's the question: does No Way have the damage to burst someone down here?
She's in a position to do so. I don't think Elise is the target she wants, and suddenly a Corki rears his weary head, and that was the one she wanted, but he's way back into that mid lane, keeping himself safe and secure, as it looks like PD stacking themselves up towards the mid lane once more. Drake still yet to reappear. I think it's about that 3-4 minutes now. As there we go, Thresh is her target. She's missed the leash. The exhaust comes in. No Way For You has done her very best. The ignite tick's not going to be enough. Say's shield and exhaust combination was all it took to keep himself alive, but I mean, we said, can he do it? And if you can't kill the squishy support with just a Sightstone, that is not good.
Well, the Ignite would have done it, but it was Brokey running by the side to actually give him the Summoner heal to keep him alive. So, I mean, at least they pulled that out. They pulled the Exhaust and the Summoner heal, so now you can have a Kali dive. Like, the Exhaust I really want to point out is the important part, because without the Exhaust, a Kali can go in and just hammer away at them. I mean, luckily for them, they have a Oracle lens, so they can spot them out. But to take those 2 key Summoners out of the game here now is, I'd say, a win. Obviously, it would have been nice if they're able to kill Sazed. But you saw he does have the damage to even kill like the support who has, you know, a decent amount of tankish behind him. So if he can get on top of Avenue or get on top of Brokey the way he wants to, you know that's going to be a kill.
Certainly should be. And talking of kills in that top lane, Koi and No Way For You having an exchange. Pantheon finally showing up, trying to do something, but Koi is just taking all of the damage. Does actually spot out the correct clone, and
really?
Oh dearie me, the damage is huge. Lumbar's surely going to be able to contribute something, but Meganar so tanky, that thick skin, having no issues. Hexdrinker playing a big part as well, and Koi is on the run. In the meantime, that inhib is falling so very fast as the remaining 4 members from PD just wail on it. It's going to fall, and CC, they're looking to be backed up into a corner with very little answers.
Why did it take so long for Lamabear to get into that? I mean, he waited till LeBlanc had like half HP before finally like, oh, hey, I'm here to help you out. Like, that's kind of a gank that I would do, just to be a jerk to someone. I don't understand that. Like, they probably could have prevented that. Actually, they most certainly would have prevented the death and might have been able to kill Koi in that one. And fortunately, it cost them another person here. No Way at 0 and 4. Luckily, he's not worth that much money, I guess. But they need crucial kills like that. They can't afford to flub a moment that they should have guaranteed.
Yeah, it's true, and I mean, the tankiness of Gnar is undeniable. Koi building pretty much straight up defensive Banshees and Randuins, only really a Hexdrinker and Doran's Blade giving him the AD, but the damage is still, I mean, a considerable amount. It's impressive to see, and of course that Banshees just means No Way For You has just, he's got 4 options now, and it's not even that. As you can see, look at that, 3 Hexdrinkers on the side of Playing Ducks. They know the power that is that LeBlanc, and instead of kind of pretending it doesn't exist or just focusing him, instead they're like, okay, 3 Hexdrinkers, we've got a Banshees as well, now try and do something. And she hasn't been able to. Dragon going pretty much to free one. CC can't quite contest. They know that if there was a team fight, they would not come out on top, and instead opting to perhaps get a pick on Koi.
They might be able to pull it off here. Panther come from the side. And they're gonna, oh, they're not even gonna check. Oh, dear Lord. Now they're going to know this, but they're not going to be able to turn around time to help out here. And Corey's going to keep him slowed. All right, Intox slowed with those boomerangs, and almost not going to come in.
What the?
He ate 2 spells with the Banshees because he used them too close in combination, and that is a dead John. That was another mistake, unfortunately. And Bear and Intox both getting very low as they're trying to run away.
Look at LeBlanc doing her best to try and take Corki. Finally gets one, but at what cost? Looking to try and run away with a clone. Illusion's already fooled, though. Fooled? As Lambert trying to get away. Does so. Flashes away from the Elise. The clutches of the Spider-Woman. And now Akali on the retreat. I think Pio is going to get away from this one quite safely. Of course, Jace has such a long-range poke. Is forced to go to a perhaps safer recall location. And are they looking towards Baron? I mean, they could. They have a tanky Gnar.
She doesn't have a ward to spot this out.
She has a shroud,
luckily. But she can't. I don't think she has a distance with her ultimate to get over the wall.
I think you can from the spot that you can auto-attack it from.
Okay. So they will back away from it. They're going to give this one up. They're going to try to chase Pio down. As he gets shot blast in the face, and then realize, oh, they found me. And almost able to pick up the kill onto Elise there, but goes down. He should have kept running. He might have, actually, he should have got some distance.
She had vision on red buff. She could have dashed to red buff.
She should have either done that or teleported away. Like, flash, get some distance, and teleport away. Like, you need to stay alive right here. I mean, yeah, luckily for you, the other team's not really accomplishing anything off it, but you still don't have vision around Baron. It could be done, and now you're going to force Intox to face check.
Yeah, and Intox has been a bit of a kind of suicidal Janna at some points. 0-3. That's contributed to 3 kills of the 6, so about 50% participation, but you see, Planeducks, they know the power they possess. All they need to do is keep dancing around this Baron, and the threat of it alone, we saw the power that a Baron buff can provide in finishing off games in game number 1, and here in game number 2 of game number 2, of match number 2, I should say, we're seeing the Baron has been started.
Yes, it has, and what's going to be there to stop him? Pantheon, Janna, trying to come in, but it's going to be a little bit too late here. Baron picked up, if I can use words correctly. And now with, what, 6,000 gold difference, I'm assuming Planeduck should be able to just push this one through and take it to game 3. With the Mill Inhibitor still being down, having to worry about the super minions, it's just a matter of time before they take out another inhib.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a pretty short space of time before they take another inhib if they push towards this top lane is going to be any sort of indication. To group up in this enemy jungle. They've got so much vision and so much power. Surely not. No Way For You is in trouble, trying to do something and can't really get anything out of that one. Hexdrinker just a little too strong. Avenue had that one procced, but that was pretty much it. Of course, he has got a fully stacked Mirror Mana now as well, so that's a huge amount of damage he can output. And look at that inhib turret fall. They're going to be able to push towards this inhib. Here comes the man drop, though. This could be an issue for PD.
No, I don't think so. As Lemon Bear is all by himself, Pio finally comes in, but he's getting knocked away instantly. He's get taken down here, and that was pretty much just a last move, a desperation move out of them. This should be the next inhibitor fun. This should be super minions as well, or not super minions, but just regular minions taking them through into the Nexus turrets. And Intix and Intox, the only two to defend against this. Now, unfortunately, brothers. Planeduck should be able to close out this game. Like, there's nothing stopped them from killing this Nexus turret.
Absolutely nothing at all. And look at those minions all hyped up on the Baron buff. See Lesion trying to do something, trying to put some sort of abuse down on the BD side. Instead, they're backing away. Probably a wise move, waiting perhaps for another wave and a little bit of extra health, and they'll probably be back. Don't want to kind of see this Baron buff go to waste.
No, mid inhib has respawned, so at least we keep one inhibitor down for now. They could probably just group up and push down that middle one right after, or just push down towards bottom. Maybe go for a little bit of split push, and obviously use that hand up Baron buff to your advantage.
In the meantime, looks like some shopping has been done. We're talking about that Hexdrinker now. Jace realizing that might not be enough as LeBlanc starting to get a few items, especially the DFG Void Staff combination. So taking that more of Malmortius, giving him some extra AD as well as a higher and more advanced shield when his health falls a little low. Perfect to counter the LeBlanc presence. In the meantime, Say's trying to do something. No Way For You's health is halved in 1. As Jace trying to hunt him down. He's got the potential to do just that as he's trying to juke him, and all it's doing is costing him time and money. If he doesn't quite get away, he can. No Way For You, no issues with that one. That W cooldown is just going to be so low now with that cooldown reduction from his Morellos, as well as leveling up to Max. And oh dear, Cocoon doesn't quite connect. No Way For You is going to finally go down, connected by the rocket from Corki. And with an assassin down, 35-second death timer, CC just need to go into defensive mode as Drake's up in 1.
Can they? Do they have any wave clear? I mean, you have Pantheon, yeah? I guess you have Lucian, but both of them, or actually at least Pantheon has to get really close to make that happen. And then, of course, all it takes is one hook, one Cocoon for him to be picked off. Not to mention all the poke that can come down from Jace. But with the Baron buff, they're going to start to push down this bottom tier 2 turret. Maybe look for the mill inhibitor at the same time here. As you can see, Core already pushed in. And CC, they almost have to fight right now, 4-on-4 here. And they're going for Brokey.
And they're going and doing their best, but look at the Gnarl. Great response, though, from Jana, pushing them back in turn and now on the prowl, looking for Intox. One auto-attack is all it's going to take. Look at that crit, 600 damage, and Jana disappears, as does Lucian. And this, most definitely, is the end of the game. Playing Ducks, a slightly delayed finish, but they finish in style. 21-7 is the kill lead as they take it into the third game.
All right, so Playing Ducks showing that they do have a little bit of life in them. Took them a little bit of time, but you know what? They pulled it off. And it was a little rough, I have to say. It didn't look as pretty as I was kind of expecting out of them. 826 Gnar, though, really doing well. Unfortunately, the LeBlanc just didn't do squat. Like, he ran a Katarina last time, obviously, so it was kind of obviously nice to have. He was able to get those resets and completely just walk all over them. But this time on an Assassin, didn't do anything. Like, you can't pick a LeBlanc like that and then just have it do nothing. Yeah,
it's not really the best way to play it. I mean, no way for you. I think he was so inspired by his Katarina play. It was like, right, so I can be an AP assassin. They weren't expecting it. I surprised them and I did a huge amount of damage. And I mean, LeBlanc pick, it's becoming more viable, but still uninspiring play. 1-6 as LeBlanc is just, it's a lot worse than the 2-for-5 Akali. That was still more of a presence, I think.
Not to mention, every time they team fought, they did it around a wall and always got knocked back by Gnar.
It's
like,
true.
Almost every time.
Playing Ducks were only willing to fight when there was a wall involved. It was almost a case of them just like, oh, Gnar's here? Fantastic, let's fight. And it worked.
All right, guys, we're going to go a quick little break here. When we come back, we're going to kick off Game 3 of our second semifinal. And of course, we'll be going to our grand finals a little bit later on, and we'll see you guys in just a few minutes.